I'm scared for July. The amount of plans that I have is ridiculous, but so many things are happening during the month. I want to participate in everything, and I have so many books that I want to fit on my TBR. In the month of July, I am co-hosting the Tarot Readathon. This is run by Deja from Deja's Book World and Noel from Noel 7 Pages. This is a team-based readathon. There is a competition element to it, but it's definitely more laid back than some of the other readathons that I've been doing recently, which I think will be so nice to participate in. I'm seriously looking forward to it. I am co-hosting Team Swords with Kat from Cat Chats. This readathon is based around tarot cards, so there are tons of prompts, 36 per team. 14 of those are team specific, and you pull a tarot card, and each card has a specific prompt for it, and you read a book that matches that. You can decide you want to do 10 books at the beginning of the month and pull 10 cards, and then read those throughout the month. You can pull cards as you go. I will have all the information for that linked in the description for you, but I would love for you to join, and definitely join Team Swords. Our team is logic, intellect, protection, decisiveness, and clarity. I'm super excited that I was asked to co-host for this round, so make sure you check out everything in the description. Also in July, I am participating in Summerween hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads, and I am also participating in the mini summer version of Blackoween hosted by Bree from Locked Booktition, and this is the July Noir version. I wanted to participate in the full version in October, but I was super busy, so I'm really glad to be able to get one of the locations checked off now, and then I can do some more in October. Let's get into the game. I have no plan. We are going to start over here in the free genre and go somewhere that direction. Roll 1. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doors unlocked. 8. So a thriller with my favorite setting. I decided to go with the Nesting by C.J. Cook. Really, my favorite settings are anything with isolation, and this has that. There's creepy woods and a nanny and 2 young girls in a chilling modern gothic thriller. It is set in an environmentally friendly, like high concept home in Norway. This man lost his wife to suicide there, but he still wants to live there. The nanny's name is Lexi. I kind of hate that. But it's a house in the forest, like right along the water. Very isolated. Really trying to read books from my shelves. And I've had this one for a while, so I'm really looking forward to it. Roll 2. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Another thriller that is a genre blend. This one was tough. I feel like usually the genre blends that I read are horror genre blends, but I had to find a thriller, so I looked, and Abandon by Blake Crouch fits with this. Apparently it's historical thriller, which is very interesting, but it's set in like the 1800s, and then a child and their family like just abandons their house, and the family was never found. And then 116 years later, 2 guides are hired by a history professor and journalist to lead them to the abandoned mining town so they can learn what happened. And recently, a similar party has attempted to find this and was never heard from again. I tend to really love Blake Crouch books. This one I think is getting republished in the fall, but I have the Pines trilogy in the original publication, so I wanted to grab this when I found it at a used bookstore. It's kind of chunky though. Roll 3. Doubles, so the store will be unlocked. 1, 2, 3, 4. A mystery picked with a random color generator. So I set up a random color generator. I found this fun spinner wheel one, and I got blood orange, and this worked so well because my Patreon book club pick for July is The Return of Ellie Black by Amiko Jean. Like, this matches perfectly. I'm so excited for this one. This says a missing girl returns, but that isn't the end of the story. It's only the beginnings. A detective's sister vanished 20 years ago, and then a glimmer of hope happens because local teenager Ellie Black, who disappeared 2 years ago, has been found alive. But something is weird with her and she won't say where she's been, and it seems like she's protecting somebody, and now the detective is trying to figure out what happened before it's too late. I've heard incredible things about this one. I think it's been on some people's favorites lists of like the first half of the year. So I have super high hopes for this one, and I cannot wait to discuss it at the end of the month with my Patreon. Roll 4. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doors unlocked. 8, 9. Another thriller from my shelves. My TBR game knew I was trying to prioritize books that I own. So for this one, I'm going with Midnight Showing by Megan Shepherd. This is the sequel to Malice House. I'm so annoyed. Okay, so this was mostly only printed in paperback, and then this was a standard edition for this one. So I was like, well, I have to get the hardcover of this so it matches. Why do they do this to me? Like, it's not even the same size at all. It is what it is, I guess, but I'm annoyed about that. So it is a direct sequel. We are following the events that happen at the end of this one, I believe. The back says, all fiction is based in reality, just not always this reality. I really loved this one, even though a lot of people didn't. It is a blend of like thriller, a little bit of horror, and some dark fantasy, which I really enjoy, but a lot of people did not. But in this one, we are following a woman whose father has just died. He's a writer, and she inherits his house, and there's some like weird things going on in the house, and there's possibly some monsters. So she is just trying to continue to figure out what's happening with her family and everything. I need to find a recap of Malice House because I don't remember much of it, but I'm super excited for this one. Roll 5. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doors unlocked. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A horror that Bowser picks. So I picked 3 options from my shelves. I have it separated into categories. I have books that I bought before 2023. So that was Wisteria Cottage. Books that I got in 2023. So that was Desert Creatures. And then books that I got in 2024, and for that it was Delicious Monsters, and Bowser picked Delicious Monsters. This one is a little chunky, so I'm scared, but I'm really excited to pick this one up for July Noir Blackoween. Our main character sees dead people and ends up in a haunted house with her mom, I believe. Things do not seem to go well, and then a decade later a character is trying to get away from her abusive mother, and her mom has some sort of connection to the Miracle Mansion, which I guess maybe was the mansion from the other storyline, but Brittany knows it's a sham. And then there's a haunted web series that is dealing with this mansion. I don't know. It sounds really, really good. This is a YA horror, which I am not always a huge fan of, but generally it's because I don't want high school drama, so I think this one will work well for me. Roll 6. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Door is locked. Remove 1 book from TBR. It was bound to happen. We have to remove a book. So the one that I am going to be removing is Abandoned by Blake Crouch. I don't have video plans for this at the moment, and it's really chunky, and that's really why I'm going to remove it. I desperately want to read this. I really want to get through all of Blake Crouch's backlog, but July is not the time for that. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Horror. That is a friend pick. This prompt is always so fun. So for this one, I asked Deja from Deja's Book World to pick a book for me. I figured it'd be fun with doing the tarot readathon. And Deja picked Brother by Anya Alborn. I forgot to look up the synopsis of this. Is this the cult one? Or is this the creepy cabin one? Probably neither of those things. I've read a couple books by Anya Alborn and haven't loved them. Wait, is this about 2 brothers and one murders people? I don't know, but I've heard that this one is her best. Sorry I don't have more information for you, but it will be in a vlog, so be on the lookout for that. Roll 7. 12 again. Starting off. Doors unlocked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Door is locked. Since this is odd, I won't remove a book, but it is still locked. 7, 8, 9. Door is unlocked. 10, 11, 12. A sci-fi from the library. This one is one that I also have on my shelves, but I will be getting the audiobook from the library, and that is A Brief History of Living Forever by Jaroslav Kalfar. I got this from Aardvark Book Club. This is set in an authoritarian near-future America obsessed with digital consciousness and eternal life, and two long-lost siblings risk everything to save their mother from oblivion. Interesting. So it looks like it's set in 2030, and I think we're following a couple different characters. This sounds really, really interesting. I have not heard anybody talk about it other than seeing it with Aardvark, so I'm really looking forward to this. Roll 8, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Door is locked. Remove one book from TBR. I know that I just said I'm really looking forward to this, but I am going to remove A Brief History of Living Forever. I don't have any specific reading plans for this, and that's the only reason. Obviously, I own it and I want to read it, but once again, July is not going to be when that happens. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Another sci-fi by a favorite author. I'm so excited about this prompt because I am going to be reading The Marriage Act by John Mars. This is the 4th book in the one. It's not a series. This is like the first book in a continuation. I don't know. They're all different stories set in the same world. So the one is the first one. The Passengers is 2nd. The Minders is 3rd. And then the Marriage Act is 4th. And I will be reading this with my Patreon in July. So in July, August, and September, we're doing buddy reads of John Mars books. So this one will be July. In August, we're reading the new book that is the newest book in this companion series. And then September we'll be reading The Vacation. And at the end of the 3 months, we're going to do a Google Meet Hangout to talk about the books. I'm so excited. The Passengers was my favorite book of last year. This is set in near future Britain, where there's a marriage act that actively encourages marriage as the norm, punishing those who choose to remain single. And 4 couples are about to discover just how impossible relationships can be when the government is monitoring every aspect of our personal lives. Every word, every minor disagreement, and will use every tool in its arsenal to ensure everyone will love, honor, and obey. Ugh. Ugh. I'm so excited to read this one and discuss it with everybody. Also, I forgot to mention it, but there will be a live show, like Google Meet discussion for The Return of Ellie Black as well on my Patreon. Roll 9. Okay, doubles, so doors are unlocked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any genre that is a book club pick. For this, we have the Pyramid Book Club pick for July, and that is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. This is set at a creepy mansion in the middle of nowhere that's hosting a dinner party, I believe. I don't really know anything else besides that, but Michelle and I both really loved The Paris Apartment, even though a lot of people did not. So we are super, super excited for this one. Monica's just along for the ride as usual. So the Discord for the Pyramid Book Club will be linked in the description for you. We are going to be chatting about the book there. I cannot wait to talk to everybody about it. It sounds so good. Like, I cannot wait to read this. Roll 10. 12. I don't know how many times I've rolled 12 in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Door is locked. Remove 2 books from TBR. We almost made it. So now I have to remove 2 books. And this was very difficult. There were certain ones that I am not removing. My Patreon book club, the Patreon read along, the Pyramid Book Club pick. So that doesn't leave me with many options. So I will be removing the nesting. I don't have a specific video plan for this. It sounds really good and I want to get to it soon, but it's leaving this TBR. And then the other one I am removing is Midnight Showing. I didn't want to remove Deja's pick. Like, I asked her to put time into picking a book for me, and I'm really excited for that one. I'm hoping to still get to this one in July, but if not, this will be a priority in August for me. So also removing this one. Hopefully the next outside door is unlocked. Okay. 11, 12. A horror book picked with a poll pick. So I put up a poll on my Instagram for 3 horror novellas on my TBR. These don't have audiobooks, so I never prioritize them, so I'm going to force myself to. So the 3 that I put up were Standalone by Paul Michael Anderson, The Last Hunt by Max Booth III, and The Prettiest Girl in the Grave by Christopher Triana. And this is the one that won. Before I started filming, this had half of the votes, and then both of these had 25% roughly. So this is the winner. This is a horror book that will drag you to the darkest corners of the soul. And these friends are meeting in a graveyard, and they soon realize they're unprepared for what's planned. One of the friends is older than the other group, and she knows of a secret game that's been played by local girls for decades. Starts with personal questions and then moves on to a test of courage. And Aubrey doesn't even know what she's getting into. And then one of their mothers played the game and barely survived as a teenager, so then she's going to try to rescue the girls. I have a signed copy of this, which is cool. I have not met this author, but he was at my local bookstore, so I have that. And this will be on my TBR. Roll 11. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Door is unlocked. 6, 7, 8, 9. A thriller book that I read with Libro FM. I may or may not have put this book on a previous TBR, and that is The Hungry Dark by Jen Williams. I think this is set in a vacation town. I forget the synopsis already, but I really enjoyed Games for Dead Girls by Jen Williams, which came out last year. This one honestly isn't super popular, but I think if you go in knowing that it's a slow-paced book, I think it's really interesting. So I'm excited to pick up The Hungry Dark. This author also writes fantasy books, which is very, very interesting. Roll 12. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ooh. You've escaped. 15. So we have finally escaped, and I have 7 books on my TBR. These 4 plus Brother, The Midnight Feast, and The Hungry Dark. So the only book club that I have plans to participate in July is the Pyramid Book Club. So for that, we are reading The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. This is a monthly book club that I host with my friends Monica from A Little Bit of Monica and Michelle from Michelle's Library. Just a reminder to check out the Discord for that in the description. I am so excited to read this book together. And then, like I talked about, I am co-hosting the Tarot Readathon. I'm not going to go over all the prompts for this, but the swords prompts are more darker ones. Like there's one that features a death, I believe, or a murder or something like that. A lot of them tend to line up more with what I typically read, but it's also very vague, which is what I love about these prompts. Like you can pick tons and tons of things for them. There's also some other prompts that are more like self-care type prompts, which I think works really well with the theme of the readathon. You can choose your team based on the prompts, the co-host. There are certain ones that line up with astrological signs if you are interested in that. Mine does not match my astrological sign, but really just do whatever works for you. And what works for you is swords, right? And then for the mini version of Blackoween, you are picking 1 location, and I'm between 3 of the locations, so I definitely will be reading Delicious Monsters for that. And this works for Ruby Crew, which is YA middle grade comics and graphic novels, so I might do that one. There's also Saint Treme, which is like the horror and dark fiction, so this would work for that one. And then Bayou Haunted House, which is featuring like haunted stories and ghost stories, so this is one that would work for that. So I'm going to be doing one of those 3 for this round, and I will be completing all of the prompts for that. Summerween, the prompts are also pretty big. I don't have any concrete plans for that as of right now, but I will have a vlog out for Summerween. I'll have a vlog out for Blackoween. I'll have at least one vlog out for the Tarot Readathon. So there's tons and tons of readathon content coming from me in July. Like, I'm so excited. So many incredible events put on by great booktubers, so everything that I talked about will be linked in the description for you. I also have a Patreon readathon happening in July. It is a 24-hour readathon, and it is Mario Kart themed. So in April, we did our first round, which was a week long, and for that, we were picking our characters, our vehicle, and our special items that attack other participants, and that's something you can complete at any time, so then you can participate in future rounds. Our first race will be happening on July 14th, and it will just be in your time zone, midnight to midnight. It is page count based as well, so there's no prompts past the initial round where you're picking everything. So I'd love for you to participate in that. If you've read any of the books on my TBR, I would love to know your thoughts. Also, I'd love to know what you are most looking forward to reading in July and what readathons you are participating in. If you've made it to the end and want to leave me an emoji to say you were here, you can leave me like a tree, nature, swampy thing for delicious monsters, and I will see you very soon. Bye.